Hello! Today we're going to review GCF and LCM, which is your greatest common factor and least common multiple. So we're just going to do these three problems to review, and then you'll do your worksheet after. So first of all, this may be not as neat as it usually is because I still don't have my stylus. Okay, so bear with me. So we have 20 and 28. Remember, to solve these, we're going to use our prime factorization, so our factor trees. So I'm going to put 20 over on the left, 28 over on the right. And then you're going to do this like normal, which most of you are very good at. It's just the GCF and LCM that I want to work on today. So for 20, we can divide that by 5 and 4 or 2 and 10. I'm going to do 2 and 10. So 2 is a prime number. So, oh my gosh, see, it's not as neat. I'm going to circle that. And then 10, I can divide by 2 and 5. So I put 2, 5. My 2 is a prime number, so I circle it. And 5 is a prime number, so I circle it. So I'm done with 20. Now for 28, I can divide by 2 and 14 or 7 and 4. I'm going to divide by 7 and 4. So 7 is a prime number, so I circle it. And then 4, I can divide by 2 and 2. And those are prime numbers, so I circle them. So I'm done with finding my prime factors. Now for GCF, remember I want the common numbers. So we have 2 and a 2 and 2 and a 2. Now since there's two pairs of them that they have in common, I have to multiply 2 times 2. And so my GCF would be 4. Remember, so GCF, a lot of you can do that in your head. A lot of you can look at 20 and 28 and figure out that you can divide them both by 4. And that's the biggest number you can divide them by. Now, for LCM, we're going to do our table. So I'm going to start with the 20, and I'm going to put 2, 2, and 5. Now for the 28, we have a 2, so that's going to go underneath the other 2. And the next 2 is going to go under that one. And then the 7, it doesn't match up with 5, so I'm going to skip the 5, and I'm going to put a 7 right there. Now I want 1 from each column. So I'm going to have 2, 2, 5, and 7. And those are the numbers that I'm going to multiply to get my LCM. Now you can multiply them in any order you want. So I'm going to do 7 times 5 first, and I get 35. And then 35 times 2 is 70, and then 70 times 2 is 140. Remember, you can multiply those in any order, so if you wanted to do 2 times 2 is 4, and then do 4 times 35, you could have. Okay. So our GCF would be 4, our LCM would be 140. Next, we have 9 and 12. Start with the 9 and the 12. I can divide 9 by 3 and 3, and those are both prime numbers, so I circle them. And then 12, I can divide by 2 and 6, or 3 and 4. I'm going to do 3 and 4. And my 3 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle it. And then 4 can be divided by 2 and 2. So it would look like that. Now, I want for the GCF the numbers that are circled that they have in common. Well, there's a 3 here, and then the 12 has a 3 as well, and they don't have anything else in common. So that's one pair of 3s, so the answer for the GCF is just 3. We don't multiply anything because they only each have 1 3 that they have in common. So that's just our answer. So then for our table that we make, I'm going to start with the 9, and we have a 3 and a 3. Now for the 12, we have 1 3, so that's going to go underneath the first 3. And then the next one's going to be blank underneath that 3 because we don't have another 3 to go with it. But we do have 2 2s, so we skip the 3 and list the 2s, so it'd look like that. And then we bring 1 down from each column. So 3, 3, 2, 2. And then we multiply. So 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 2 is 4, so we get 9 times 4, which is 36. And that would be our LCM. All right, on this last one, I want you to try it on your own. So if you're still struggling, then at least try the prime factorization on your own. And then fast forward so that you can watch me do the GCF and LCM. So go ahead and pause the video here. All right, so we have 42 and 18. 42 can be divided by 7 and 6. I'm going to circle the 7 because that's a prime number. And then 6 can be divided by 2 and 3. So we'd have 7, 2, and 3 are the prime numbers. 18 can be divided by 2 and 9, 6 and 3. We'll do 2 and 9. 2 is a prime number, so I circle it. And then 9 can be divided by 3 and 3. All right, so now we have our prime factorization done. So for GCF, I want to find the common numbers. So 42 has a 7, a 2, and a 3, and 18 has 2, 3, and 3. So our common numbers are the 2's and one set of 3's. So to find GCF, I would do 2 times 3, and it is 6. So our GCF is 6. Now for the LCM, create your table. And for 42, I'm going to put them in order. You don't have to, but I'm going to. So I'd have 2, 3, and 7. It's a bad 3. A little better. Okay, so 2, 3, and 7. And then for 18, we have 2, 3, and 3. So I'm going to match up the 2 and the 3. And then the extra 3 doesn't match up with the 7, so I skip that column and go to the next one. And then we bring 1 from each column straight down. So 2, 3, 7, and 3. And I would multiply those to get my answer. So I'm going to multiply them in a weird order because I know 3 times 3 is 9. And then 9 times 7 is 63. And so then I would just have to do 63 times 2 to get my answer. And we'd get 126. And that would be our final answer. Let me know if you guys have questions, but look back on these notes while you do the worksheet today. They will help you, and make sure you're using your notes that have the prime numbers on them as well as your multiplication chart.